Now let's talk about something that's definitely not fun to talk about, and that's this screen here. Hopefully you've never experienced this blue screen here. This has many known names. Some of the ones that we can share are the blue screen error, the blue screen of death, or we could also just call them the stop errors or blue stop errors. This is what you'll see when a process running in the kernel mode encounters a problem and Windows abruptly stops. A stop error at the top and the specific number of the error is at the bottom, and you can see this, and this will definitely help you with your troubleshooting. Unfortunately, several times and most times it will happen really fast and then your computer will shut down. This doesn't always occur. Sometimes you'll just see the blue screen and you'll be hung there, but a lot of times your whole computer will just flash this, shut down, and then you have to keep restarting and hopefully be able to capture the screen picture with a camera or something. And there are several common blue screen errors that cause these improper shutdowns, such as with errors with your hard drive or a corrupted Windows update even, or even bad memory, as a physical component in your computer. But there's ways to deal with the blue screen errors after the startup. One of the best tools to put in your tool bank is the internet. Search for the error, search for the solutions. One of the most valuable tools to you is the Microsoft website. And when you search the Microsoft website, make sure that you are using both of these pieces of information here when you are looking up your solution and your error here in the Microsoft website. Now, if the blue screen names the device, driver, or service that caused the problem, use Windows Explorer to locate that program file. Driver files are stored typically in your C:/Windows/system32/drivers folder. So the system32 folder is very susceptible to all kinds of problems, especially with virus attacks, but you'll get very accustomed to searching for items in that system32 folder. And as you're researching this on your own, if you right click on the file in that folder, the location where the problem is, select Properties. Then once your Properties window pops up, check on the Details tab of the Properties box to tell you the overall purpose of that specific file. If you need to, you can reinstall the device or program that caused that problem, that caused the blue screen of death. Now, sometimes after you've restarted your system, you might see that a Windows error message box or some type of window or bubble might appear with some useful information for it. If it does, follow the links that appear so you can help troubleshoot this issue and hopefully find your resolution. Another place you can check is the event viewer, which might provide events that kind of occurred that led up to that issue. So just if you can recall, the critical errors and the warnings, those are recorded in that admin events log, so make sure to check your events viewer definitely. You can also check archive messages in your Action Center, and if there's any problem reports that have been created, you can check those as well. Make sure that you use Windows updates. Some people turn these off for whatever reasons, but make sure you're keeping your computer updated so that any type of security patches or even device patches that are tied to Microsoft get deployed to your system to help avoid a blue screen of death. If perhaps you've made some recent change to your computer, roll that back. If you've applied some new hardware, take that out, put the old back in if you still have it, or if it's just an add-on device, remove that and see if maybe that is what's causing your improper system shutdown. Use your memory diagnostics tool to see if you have any issues with your memory. And as always, if you recall, we have the check disk tool, so you could use check disk CHKDSK/R to check your attached hard drive for any type of errors that are occurring. Unfortunately, a lot of times the hard drive is the cause for the BSOD or blue screen of death. So sometimes if you are proactive and you're checking your event viewer, you're doing your check disks and all this, you might detect the problems before they occur so that you can get your files saved or moved to a newer uh, disk, hopefully, as I keep hounding, a solid state drive so that you have the best performance available to you. Here's just some of those common blue screen errors that you might come across. Hopefully you don't, but you might, such as the bad pool header, the kernel data in page error, unfortunately the unexpected kernel mode trap, which like I said earlier is mostly caused by bad memory. Unfortunately, if you take a look at the bad pool header, there's several different things that could cause this error to happen in your computer to shut down. But one of the best ways to do it is just troubleshoot any recent changes that might have occurred to the system and undo those changes. It could be something as simple as a driver that installed that became corrupt during the install, and you just need to uninstall that driver, roll it back, and then see if you can reapply it, or wait a while to see if a new driver comes out to possibly fix the issue if it was the actual updated driver that was the problem. So as I said earlier, just make sure you capture as much information as you can and research to find the resolution that you need for the issue. In dealing with errors or problems with memory, you have some memory diagnostic tools available to you. I've seen bad memory modules cause a lot of errors over the years, so definitely try to eliminate memory as a possible source. This is one of those low-hanging fruits if you can. So you have different methods using the mdsched.exe. Once you can get Windows to boot up, press the start bar and run a memory diagnostic from your Windows Boot Manager screen. If you can't get this far, then if you put in your repair disk, or if you have your original Windows setup DVD, put that in. As it loads up, make sure you change your boot order. Click on the repair your computer option, and then once you click that, you'll have a screen pop up and you have these different options. Click on the Windows Memory Diagnostic to run that tool. And here's just a couple screenshots so you can see what those screens look like if you need to run those tools. As you bring up Windows Boot Manager here, you'll see that down here the tool available is your Memory Diagnostic tool. So just scroll down there and select that. Also, if you put in your Windows 7 disk, you'll see as you bring it up, rather than click on the Install Now, select Repair Your Computer, and then you can get in that window. Now, another type of problem that can occur is a Windows application or hardware problem might be caused by a corrupted Windows system file. That's where the System File Checker tool might come in necessary. SFC is what you'll commonly hear it as, but the System File Checker protects system files and keeps a cache of current system files in case it needs to refresh one of those damaged system files. Now, if you want to use this utility to scan all your system files and verify them, first close all of your other applications and then go enter the command SFC/scan now in, of course, an elevated command prompt to be able to run that tool. Now, if there are corrupted system files found, you might need to provide your Windows startup disk or your setup DVD to restore any of those files. If you have any problems running this utility, go ahead and try the command SFC/scan once, which will scan the files immediately after that very next reboot on your computer. Now, I said earlier you can have problems with not only hardware, which is kind of easy, in the sense that if we put in new hardware and we have a problem, there's something that triggers us there to say, oh, maybe I should take that out and see if that was my problem. But we can also have problems with applications, and sometimes there are some problems with an application that might be caused by the application itself. It's a bad application. If you're trying something new or some freeware, you could have hardware conflict. Maybe the operating system doesn't like the application. If there's any type of conflict occurring with other applications, the OS, where probably a good idea not to use that application. Go ahead and uninstall it right away. Do some research. Maybe use a virtual computer to test that application with different operating systems. Maybe find out which other applications it might be having conflict with by slowly installing those applications on your virtual computer. if it's a new application and you find that there's an error with this that's creating a conflict with another common tool that people use, you might want to contact the vendor and let them know that this error is occurring and help them with their software debugging if need be. So just keep that in mind, that sometimes software gets rolled out that everything didn't get tested with, and you might be able to help lots of other people by reporting that issue to the vendor.